Hey, it's Medora, and I put out a lot of content, and I'm telling you, it sometimes drives you crazy. But over time, I've learned to use a couple of automations that help make this process a little bit easier. With this system, I'm able to publish a newsletter every Friday. I'm also able to post on social media every single day on LinkedIn, Threads, Instagram, Facebook, X, and Pinterest. And then I'm also able to interact with people across every single one of those platforms without having to log in to every single platform. This whole process for me is very simple. First of all, I just make a Friday newsletter and take all those different sections from there and post them on social media every day. That's it. That's the whole thing. At its basis, it's very simple, but the hardest part about this whole process is finding stuff to post. So throughout the week when I'm browsing the internet, which is a lot of the times because I spend a lot of time just browsing the internet for fun, I'm looking for cool things that stand out. So if I see something very interesting or an ad that I like and go, oh, that's kind of cool, I save it. Now, a lot of this is just done from my phone actually. And the way I do it is if I see something cool, like I'm browsing Reddit, I see something cool there, I just take a quick boop screenshot and save it. That's it. And then later I go to my screenshot section on my phone and I browse the screenshots and I can see all of them. And then I can decide if I want to keep it or not. Now, what I used to do was I just had a big Google Doc where I'd save all this stuff. But after like hundreds and hundreds of photos, it starts to just get a bit of a chunky doc. It gets really, really big and hard to navigate. And that's why I built SwipeFile a long time ago. It's basically just this Pinterest style website where I save everything I like. For example, over here, I saw this cool meme lord webpage. I liked it, so I saved it. And with SwipeFile, I could just save it myself. Now, you may be saying, well, I don't have a website like SwipeFile. There's an answer. It's Google Keep. Google Keep is kind of like a little Pinterest knockoff where you can just save stuff and then later put it inside any sort of doc. So if you have Google Keep, copy paste anything in there, paste it, save it, upload it, whatever, write a note. You can just save any sort of social media post. You'll make your own little swipe file where you can store ideas and stuff. And a lot of people don't know about Google Keep. It's low-key a really, really good product. Okay, so it's been a week and I've taken a lot of screenshots. I have a big queue of stuff I want to post. So how do I do this? So first of all, I go and make my swipes email. Swipes means swipes, wisdom, interesting, picture, essay, and splurge. So I know that every week I'm looking for something in these ranges. And here we go. So I made this little swipes email. It's got this thing over here. It's got this what Gen Alphas want to be when they grow up chart. It has an interesting thing, what people are using for ChatGPT, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? Sometimes I put a picture in there. This essay is about an about page my friend made. So I got all these things in here and each one corresponds to a swipe file post. So I posted this here. I wrote something about it. I posted this here. I wrote something about it. I posted this here. I wrote something about it. You get the point. That makes up the newsletter, right? So now each of these, I could click it and it actually goes to its own page. So if someone wants to share it or something, it makes it a lot easier. So that's the newsletter part of it. Now, I mentioned I also post on LinkedIn, Threads, Instagram, Facebook, X, and Pinterest. And I do that every single day. Now, this would be a nightmare to actually physically log into each one of these and post. Here's the other thing. I don't really use Pinterest all that much. I don't really use Threads all that much. So I don't even go in there. So going in and posting every day would just be kind of a full-time job. Thankfully, there's automation for that. So I personally use Buffer for this. And basically, I just go in here and we load all my posts in here. So you can just see all these different posts from the newsletter. And here's the thing, each of them sometimes requires a little massaging. So for example, Threads can't have more than 500 characters, whatever the number is. So we have to try to change up each one of those. So every week we'll schedule all of these into Buffer and then automatically at a certain time each day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, something will go out. So it looks like I'm active on social media all the time, but really I'm front loading a lot of this content on the first of the week. Now, as you can imagine, going out across a lot of different social networks, every once in a while, a post will hit. Like a lot of times the posts get like almost no engagement and then one will hit and get thousands of likes. And so what happens is you end up getting a lot of comments and you have to interact with them. And this has actually always been a problem for me. I'm not a big fan of going and interacting with all these different social networks all the time because it distracts me. If I log into Facebook to answer one comment, then I'm looking what my aunt's sister's friend did 2 years ago. I just go off into la la land, right? So to stay focused, I have to use some sort of automation. And so as you can see, look at all these like unanswered comments over here. And so what I've started doing is kind of auto responding to these with GoHighLevel. So this is a workflow where if someone comments on my Instagram, it will then respond on the comment And then it will do this little Instagram interactive messenger thingy where it'll DM them and say, hey, thanks for commenting. I really love that you read my stuff. The good thing is that once it's set up, you don't have to really mess with it anymore. So for example, if someone responds, it can either say, hey, check your DMs, or thanks for showing interest, please check your DM. And then the DM, it'll message them and just say, hey, thanks for your interest in copywriting course, or whatever you want to say. You could leave a fun note. You could tell them that you have a book. You could tell them all sorts of different things. One of the ways I see a lot of people using this is that if you want to download a certain thing, you're talking about like a guide or a free book that you have, you can say, comment book. I'm sure you've seen this. And then all the comments are like book, 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 book. And something like GoHighLevel will go and just respond to all those people with a link to that book. So that's what's happening whenever you see all those people responding. And the cool thing is this super drives engagement. So if Instagram sees like, oh man, there's like 2,000 people commenting on this thing, they start bumping it up, and that juices the algo a little. And once again, this is kind of all automated, so it's happening while you sleep, which is nice. Anyways, so that's my whole process. It's not that complicated for making a weekly newsletter, publishing to every single social platform every single day, and replying to all the comments. And so basically the hardest part is actually finding all that material, and I do that throughout the week. I make a newsletter, and then we schedule those posts to go out through social media, and then something like GoHighLevel will actually respond to people in the comments. That's the whole process. I hope you learned something from this. My name is Neville Medora. If you want to check me out, go to copywritingcourse.com and sign up. We have a great community over there where we take all your marketing and make it better. Or go to swipefile.com and sign up for free or for our pro product. It's pretty cool. We categorize all the internet's marketing, and we have AI analyze all of it so you can pick the best marketing for your company too. My name is Neville Medora. Talk to you later. Bye.